Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I do need to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Shem Shai by Hashem Kakadash. That belongs to the apostles and all great millstone for teaching us his truth, peace, and blessings to the hopeful like of Shalom. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, and Hebrew by Hashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back on the lesson, and today we're going to be going to these lying wonders and how these devils will be performing these miracles on the left hand side through the technology. Also, as you're seeing, the infrastructure and the foundation that these devils are laying out in order to usher in and bring about this beast system, which can be ran through that charagma. Speaking of the MOTB, which is the RFID C-HIP. You see them paving the way, taking those steps in order to usher this thing in. As you see in, within the supermarkets, adding more self-checkout aisles, and even dealing with this one right here, where it says, cost, whoa, next step is implanting a micro C-HIP. Costco, has a membership thing or whatever, where you need to, have a membership with them in order to, even enter the store. But now that's going to be pretty much ran through a C-HIP, and if you don't have that, you pretty much won't be able to even enter. And as you get in Revelation 13:16, how you won't be able to buy nor sell without that charagma, without that MOTB. So you see the direction that this place is heading. So you see many places are starting to, once again, implement more self-checkout aisles, more apps being implemented. Everything is heading towards a digitized system, a digitized currency, man. Which, mention these apps, speaking of Amazon One, where you're able to, pay by the way the palm of your hand. So you're seeing the steps that are being made, the direction that these devils are heading towards. You're going to have many people see the benefits in receiving, the brain implant, which I have a quick video right here I got. Because you also have Elon Musk, giving out promises and incentives to where you'll be able to, listen to music within your brain. People that are paralyzed will be able to walk again. People that are blind will be able to see. And you have people be tempted and deceived into taking this thing, man. But as you get in Revelation, the 14th chapter, the 9th to the 10th verse, go into that judgment that you will receive if you do take it. So I do want to place a video over here, get this out the way, read a little bit into that article to go more in depth into it, because I just kind of summarized a little bit of it, but better to get the meat of it within the article and get a couple scriptures, and Lord's will lesson be edifying and to the point. Let's dive right into it.
Shooters like Call of Duty.
Yeah, that brings up another thing. Like, I basically have an aimbot in my head.
That's
and I believe this is the same guy that was playing chess with his brain, where he's able to move the cursor with his mind, or something to that effect. And once you have many similar videos, kind of like this one right here, where they're able to do those types of things. I believe there's one woman received something similar to that in Neuralink. If not, it was the Neuralink itself, but she's pretty much able to think of a sentence in her mind, and able to be portrayed on the screen of what she was thinking, of what she was wanting to say. So you will have these miracles be performed on the left hand side through this technology, and you have made people once again be deceived and tempted into taking it, man. Which again, 2 Thessalonians 2:9, Matthew 24:24, going into these lying wonders. You're gonna have people fall into these temptations, man.
Probably, yeah, they'll probably have like different leagues for people like me, because it's just not fair.
What? And you already know how Jake is when it comes to the next so-called big thing, the next big wave. You will have people lining up to take this thing, man. Especially dealing with the RFID C-HIP, which is pretty much going to be that universal remote. Everything is going to be ran through that thing, man.
Wow, is it that accurate?
It's that accurate, and it's faster. One thing that I found with the Neuralink is something that kind of blew my mind too, is that when I'm attempting to do stuff sometimes, or I'm thinking it to like move in a certain place, sometimes it's so good that it's moving before I even like think it to move. It's almost like if you think about moving your hand, the signal is basically already being sent before you move your hand. Like your mind is saying, okay, he's about to move his hand, basically.
And the thing is, people don't think about the consequences that you will receive if you once again especially do take this thing. Whether it may be the brain implant, especially the RFID C-HIP, which is the MOTB, which once again I brought up Revelation 14:9-10, going to that judgment. But also what the devils are going to be able to do to you. Because yeah, Elon Musk, a while back was kind of put on blast on articles where certain information was brought up where you had a lot of monkeys were pretty much kind of tortured from all these trials and tests that were done to them. You can imagine the things that Esau did. I mean, speaking of this devil, man, what can make its brain shut off? What can kill it the fastest? How can we control it? You just imagine what went through this devil's mind. This is what they're wanting to put into your body, man. Just how you have people sea-hipping dogs and cats, people branding cows. Why do they do that? To show that they have possession and ownership over them. To show that it's theirs. And this is what this devil wants to do to you. Everything about you will be on that thing, man. And you're going to have many people be pushed into a corner, and a choice you have to be made, because you're going to have these devils be tightening that grip, to force your hand. Because as we just read in this article right here, as his next step is implanting a micro C-HIP fumes Costco shopper as store installs new tool to halt membership sharing. So very soon you won't be able to enter stores, go to your job. These are the times that we are coming into. You're seeing the foundation, the infrastructure being laid out in order to usher in this beast system, which once going to be ran through that micro C-HIP, the RFID C-HIP, man.
So the signal needs to be sent all the way down and back up in order for you to move your hand. So the speed that all that.
So you'll be able to play.
And it's crystal clear what the MOTB is, especially surrounding the buying and selling part, man. How you won't be able to do anything without it. Showing you what it is, but you still have many people that are disregarding these things, saying that the MOTB is something completely different, saying that it's spiritual, and it's clearly not the case, But the Lord is making it clearer and clearer day by day. Now, we're going to read a little bit of this article right here, and you got a couple scriptures, quick hit to his spirit. Haven't made a lesson going to the MOTB in a week or two maybe. But usually when new information pops up, I like to make a lesson going into as we're to do. As prophets, man, to warn our people. To especially stay away from these things, man. Because once you see many apps moving towards that digitized direction, to where you don't need to, pay cash anymore, just everything going digital, It says, Costco, next step is implanting a micro chip. They're telling you in front of your face of what they're wanting to do, And this is how once a lot of people are going to be, pressured into taking it, man, because you won't be able to enter stores, you won't be able to travel, you won't be able to go to your job, you won't be able to pay for anything, you won't be able to buy anything. Next step is implanting a micro C-HIP fumes Costco shopper as store installs a new tool to halt membership sharing. As I brought up the point where you pretty much need a membership in order to enter that store. So you see, they won't be able to, they won't be taking that membership anymore, but only if you have that RFID C-HIP. That's how it's going to be stored, and how they're able to speaking of that membership being stored within it, and how they will only accept that form of what's we're looking for, representation of that membership, whatever the case may be, But let's see, Costco has added membership scanners to some locations, but a shopper feels it could lead to more advanced security measures. Hey, you're clearly right. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. You're going to have these devils putting out restrictions, these mandates to force your hand, because they want ultimately everybody to have this thing. They have that absolute control. Now, Costco has added membership scanners to some locations, but a shopper feels it could lead to more advanced security measures. And once again, as you see in the infrastructure foundation, it's being laid out right before your very eyes of what they're going to do. To usher in this beast system through that charagma, through that MOTB, which is the RFID C-HIP, which we're warning you to stay away from. To not take that thing, man. Or else you will be destroyed. Front row tickets to death, man. Now, it says a Costco shopper made a drastic assumption that membership scanners are a gateway to micro C-HIP technology. And this is what this place is heading towards. Once again, you're seeing the implementation of more self-checkout aisles, more apps, leaning towards a digitized system, They're doing away of cash, man. And I recently went to a situation with, I believe, New York, where now they have, digital IDs. You see where this place is heading, if you have the eyes to see, man. Now, what you see right here. So, I mean, this is the direction this place is heading. And if you don't have that RFID see it, well, guess what? Turn back and go to a different store. Now, it says Costco, even it's going to be at your job. Look what happened back in 2020. If you didn't have, the juice at certain places, you won't be able to enter or travel. Costco shopper Tom Nipper shared a photo of Costco employees checking membership cards at his local store. See right there. Now, this is the membership scanners were implemented to curb members from allowing non-members to use their cards to shop at Costco. Now, I guess their way of cutting around that is, hey, you need to have this in your hand. Costco announced the new way to confirm members are using their cards properly in June 2023. It says the microchip comment came as a reply to Costco shopper Tom Nipper's post on Facebook about how he spotted a scanner at a store in Riverbank, California, 94 miles east of San Francisco. So ultimately, you get the point. And ultimately, as you get in scripture, also 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, goes into how we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And we see right through this devil's plans and what he's trying to do, man. And what's we're warning you to spend probably Al Shai to, want to stay away from these things. And, obviously, pray to Al Shai to keep us in the midst of these times. Because you're going to have a lot of Israelites that especially know this truth that's going to end up bending the knee. That's going to end up taking this thing, man. Whether it may be the brain implant or the RFID see hit, man. 2 Thessalonians 2:9 says, even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, these miracles that they're going to be performing. We're going to have people that's paralyzed are able to, somewhat walk again. People that are blind are able to see again. These are the things that are going to get people, hopping on board. Rooting for them to be pushed out and implemented, and how you will be looked upon as so-called crazy for denying this thing, for being against it. Because we will face persecution for denying this thing, And you saw the similar situation back in 2020. People that didn't want to take the juice were ostracized, were looked upon as crazy, abnormal. This is going to be the same situation, man. Even worse. Even he was coming after the work of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders in back in 2020. That was just a trial run for what these devils are getting ready to do, So you failed back then and you took that juice already. I mean, if you failed the pop quiz, you ain't ready for the test, Psalm 55:21. It says, the words of his mouth were smooth as butter, but war was in his heart. His words were soft and oil, yet with a drawn sword. This devil is a natural born liar. It's not to be trusted. And of course, he's going to be, buttering you up, smooth talking you in order to, hop on board with this thing, telling you about the so-called benefits, how much, how safe it is, and it's better than these, apps that you have, and whatever that these devils, may say in order to inch you closer into hopping on board, Now it says, the word of his mouth was smooth and border, but the war was in his heart. His words soft and yet were they drawn swords. Psalms 58:3, because it's obviously deeper and more evil intentions behind the things that he is saying. Behind the things that he is promoting and pushing out. We're speaking of Esau, Edom here, the wicked the Bible speaks of. He's not going to be pushing this thing out in order to help the people. This devil wants absolute control. He wants you to make him your God. He wants you as his possession. Psalm 58:3. And it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Also brought up that article, dealing with the monkey situation, where the trials and tests that they did on these poor animals. You can just imagine the atrocious things that these devils have done to them. So imagine what they will do to you. The power they will have over you, man. To switch you off. To make you their robot. To control your thoughts. Whatever, man. Do not take this thing. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. What's in horrific judgment awaits those that do take this thing. Matthew 24:24. We don't see whether it be this brain implant or the RFID C-hip. You should not take this thing. For there shall rise false anointed and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that it were possible to deceive the very elect. But it's impossible to deceive the Lord's men. But just go to show that great deception, the deceivableness that these devils are going to be doing, man. How you're going to have many people be led away, be incentivized, tempted into taking this thing. But if you take it, you will be destroyed. Which, I believe, where's it at? After Revelation 13:16, so we'll get that after. But it's one of the main points. Revelation 13:16-17, and what is the main scriptures they should know by now already. That says, and he called the will small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their forehead. So when you get that word mark in the Greek, it goes into the word etch, scratch, showing that it's a physical mark. And it's why it's important to look into the etymology of these words so you know what the scripture is speaking of. That's to receive a mark in the right hand or in their forehead. I also see with the Neuralink, the brain implants. You'll see similar companies doing similar things. Verse 17, now it says that no man might buy or sell so very soon without having this MOTB, the RFID C-hip. You won't be able to live a so-called normal life. As you also have recently, I believe maybe a year ago, you had the WF came out and said that if you don't receive the CBDCs under your skin, you won't be able to participate in society. And you had many other similar things that were said. So mentioning Isaiah 10:1 one more time. Might as well get that scripture too, just to, push the point home. And it says, woe unto them that decree and righteous decrees, and not right grievances which they have prescribed, going to the draconian-like laws that they're going to establish. Which can go into that word draconian, goes into the word harsh, strict, severe. To where you won't be able to live without this thing. But that's where our faith and our trust in the Lord is going to, come into play, man. Isaiah, I believe the 8th chapter. I believe it's Isaiah 10:20, if I'm correct. How we're no longer going to be relying upon these devils, man. Yep, Barak to Shai. Just to get this real quick, just go into our faith in Yahweh B'Shem Shai and the Lord to take care of us, man. And I said, it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth, when we rely upon our God, Yahweh B'Shem Shai, to take care of us, to protect us, to feed us when we're hungry. Because Jake, likes to raise those questions. How are we going to eat? Well, what do we want to do? Put your faith in the Lord, man. And now let's read verse 17 one more time. And that no man might buy or sell, if he died the mark of the name beast or the number of his name. Now let's get the judgment that you will receive if you do take this thing. Now it says, verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image. And how you do that, by the way, of receiving this mark, because that goes to show that you are in agreement with it. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So however you may take it, you will be destroyed. As you know, I'm going to take the seed in my left hand, because in Revelation, this 13th chapter, and 16th verse, it says in your right hand. So Jake trying to be slick, what if I take it in my left hand? What if I take it in my right hand and then I take it out after? No. If you take it at all, you will be destroyed, put to death, man. It just goes so Jake doesn't fear the Lord, man. Trying to outsmart the Most High. Trying to create loopholes in order to benefit you. To get around things. To choose a so-called easy way out. You will be destroyed, put to death, man. And receive his mark on his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture, into the cup of his indignation. And he should be tormented with fire and brimstone. That fire and brimstone are going to be those thermonuclear missiles, man. Which you can 2 Peter 3:10. Isaiah 13, going to that great destruction doesn't take place, especially here in Babylon the Great. And in many other scriptures, man. It's, 2nd Ezra, I'll be the 6th chapter. Jeremiah 50, going to those arrows. But it's in brimstone in the presence of the holy, also Isaiah 34. With fire and brimstone in the presence of all the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb, that Lamb being Yahweh Shai. So you will be destroyed and burned in that lake of fire, man, which can be via these nuclear missiles. Now, to close out with Revelation 3:10, so it's going to be a longer lesson, but the Lord's will tie these points together with ability, and you were edified. Now it says, because I was kept one of my patients, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So those that believe, those that endure and remain faithful, the Lord is going to keep us, man. He's going to give us the strength that we need in order to deny these things. Because I brought up that point earlier in the beginning, or the middle part of the lesson. You will have many Israelites that know this truth that will end up taking that. They end up bending the crack into the pressure. Because, hey, we're going to face temptation. You may have your own family come up against you. Your own woman, you're urging and pushing you to go and take it. She may take her and her little ones to go and do it, man. So these are things that we got to be prepared to face, man. But I always keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So hey, the Lord has his elect back. You got to endure, got to remain faithful. You got to truly believe in this thing, man. But that's really on that right there. I want to make a quick lesson going to those lying wonders. I came across that video right there where he said he is aimbot, where he's able to, lock on targets, where he's able to, do things a normal human wouldn't. So you're gonna have people, see that and think of it to be cool and want to hop on board with it, and the spiel. But that's on it right there. Lord's edifying. Doing close and give all praises, all honor and all glory to Hashem Shai, Hashem Dash, the one of the apostles, and great millstone for teaching us his truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful lecture visitor. Shalom. See you next one. Lord's will.